All right, test, test. Do we have sound coming in? We all good? Okay, we are ready. Let's do this. Alrighty, what's going on, people? It's your boy Nick with another Big Brother recap show. This is for week number 4 inside the Big Brother. For the last couple weeks, it's been certain as to who should be the one to leave. This week was kind of a little debatable. So we're going to venture in on exactly what happened, who were the targets, and what you need to know about the week, especially moving forward of the week from last night's episode.
By a vote of 10-0, Whitney, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Yeah, that's right. Whitney, latest evictee from the Big Brother house. Let's dive in to see what exactly happened that led Whitney on the block and ultimately out of the house. So, as we jump into our spoiler board. So, get ready. All right, so who was our head of household this week? None other than Christian, of course, Mr. Comp Beast. If I recall, I think since being in the house, let's see, he won the first competition on night 1. He has a veto. He has a head of household. That's 3 competitions already. So this guy's building up a resume. So Christian was the head of household for the week. The nominations before the veto were Hannah and Whitney. Let me get rid of this speaker real quick. You can get a better look. So Hannah and Whitney were the nominees for the week. Power Veto, who won this little bad boy right here? Oh, look at that, Mr. Christian. Again. So you've got 4 competitions on your belt. This guy's becoming a huge threat. Not even Derek X is a target at this point. He's got 2 veto wins, but he's kind of laying low. And the veto was not used. So the final nominees for the week are Hannah and Whitney. Let's see how the eviction votes fell. For Hannah, let's see how many votes she got. Oh, 0 votes. Goose eggs. So that means Derek F, Brittany, Aza, Kyland, Alyssa, Sarah, Claire, Derek X, Tiffany, and Xavier all voted to evict Whitney. All right, we're at the memory mall, so here we go. It's time to push the magic button to send the next house out the door. In 3, 2, 1. Your picture is now in black and white. By a vote of 10-0, Whitney has been evicted from the Big Brother house. That is your spoiler board update. And, I forgot to mention, I was a bad boy. I forgot to put an eviction prediction last night. But it would have said Whitney, obviously. And this is not just because I saw it afterwards. When I think if you go back to my kickoff show for Big Brother, I had my opinions about Whitney. I don't think she would have went very far to begin with. I don't think she would have made it to jury. I think Hannah would have made it into jury at least. So I kind of already felt Whitney was going to be going home. And it seemed like a lot of people said the same thing. 89% of the vote. By the way, when I did this Facebook poll, this is the most votes I've had so far. We had 406 votes. Yes, I'm not making these numbers up. This is actually Facebook. 406 people casted their votes. That's the most I've had so far this season. 89% of the voters, that's 363 votes, were cast to evict. They believe Whitney would have been the one going home. And 11% of the vote was for Hannah. So, all right, another alliance update. First off, let's give credit to the cookout, because the Cookout has done such a great job keeping their alliance under wraps. We could have another brigade coming in. We'll see. We'll see. But right now, so in case you need a reminder, we have Aza, we have Derek F, we have Kyland, we have Tiffany, we have Xavier, and in the corner right here is Hannah, just because she wasn't an original member, but Tiffany decided to bring her in and kind of keep her on the sidelines just to see what's up. And that came in handy this week because they all voted to save Hannah from the block. So good job. Nobody has caught on to this yet. So I'm happy about that. Also, too, you got to remember jury is about to start in 2 weeks. So if all these guys keep their people and get evicted until jury starts, you got 6 people going into jury. You have 11. Is it 11 people? No, you have 9 people voting. Here are 6 votes already. You need 5 votes to win the game. So basically, the Cookout is going to run the jury votes, basically. Assuming that everyone gets knocked out before the finale. So kudos to them. A little preview of the highlights. All these guys have talked about having side alliances. Basically, people that are going to be expendable to the Cookout Alliance. So Aza has a side deal with Brittany. Derek F, I don't think he has a side deal with anybody, but that's okay. Nobody's going to really go for him yet. Kyland has Sarah Beth, one of my final 2 picks. Tiffany actually has a deal with Hannah. And also, too, why I put Hannah on this lonely island over here is because if need be, they'll keep Hannah until it is time to cut the wire pawn, basically. And Xavier, I'm trying to see who he has. I don't think he has anybody, to be honest. So that's basically an agreement. So right now, you've got the Cookout basically controlling the jury votes right now. So that's pretty good. That's really good. Same with the Royal Flush. I take that back. Well, the Cookout plus the Royal Flush is doing a good job with the votes. They will basically be controlling the jury votes as we get ready to start sending these house guests to the jury house. So, all right. Oh, we have an alert. Let's see. By the way, Royal Flush, Alyssa, Christian, Claire, Derek X. You still can't see his picture. I tried to make it nice. Kylan, Sarah Beth, Tiffany, and Xavier. All part of the Royal Flush. Oh, we have an alert. Claire won safety until jury, speaking of which. Okay, so this week at the wild card competition, this was the final one for the season. Claire won safety. But in order to get safety, she had to make a decision. Either she gives safety to both her teammates, Kyland and Tiffany, and they all get safety for the week, or Claire can take safety for herself only, and she'll get 2 weeks of safety, meaning Claire is the first person who would be safe would be the first person to make it to jury. So I will explain jury later because I keep saying jury, but that is that's a big deal on Big Brother, and you'll find out why. So Claire took the deal. She is safe. She's the first person to make it to jury. So that. All right. And also, sorry, I got a notification. Okay. Also, the team twist has officially ended, speaking of which. With the final wildcard competition, that means every man or woman is for themselves. Because remember, Big Brother, you can only have one winner. So eventually the teams had to come to an end. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring out this little buzzer right here. And in doing so, I am going to get rid of the teams myself. It's going to be a sight to see. So let's do this bad boy. First off is the aces. Ready, set. There's the aces. And the queens. 1, 2. All right. Next is the jokers. Ready, set. And finally, the Kings. Ready, set. There you go. I have eliminated all the teams. Now it is every man for himself. As we jump into the highlights. Before we begin, I also want to say, if you've been watching the recap shows, you've noticed, hear me talk about my rearrangements in the room and setting up like a certain spot. I finally have my spot. I finally have a workstation for my PC and everything. So this is my final resting place for my computer software. So hopefully the lighting will be better, and hopefully you'll be able. It's actually been a pretty good job seeing this right now. So that's good. This is better. This is what I've been working to do. So, all right, let's jump into the highlights right now. So Christian, all right, I've already mentioned 4 competition wins. This guy is becoming a huge threat, and I hope these guys are seeing this right now. They need to get him out probably before jury starts. So because Christian is safe, Alyssa, Sarah Beth, and Xavier are all safe for the week. So, and since this is Christian's HOH, we all know that these guys are in a showmance, no secret. So what happens is when he's HOH, she's HOH. I know she's been whispering in his ear about what to do for the week. So right away, when the week begins, Christian starts throwing Whitney's name out, saying she's got to go. She's a loosey-goosey. She's a wild card at this point. So the question is, who is going to sit next to Whitney on the block? Answer, Hannah. So 2 members of the Aces team sitting next to each other on the block. Now, everybody was in agreement that Whitney should be on the block this week. But there's one person who was really pushing for Hannah to go home this week. And it's none other than my final 2 pick, Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth starting to get herself in a little trouble right here. She pushed hard. And Tiffany sought that out real quick. She noticed, she's saying Hannah's name and la la la. But you know what? She doesn't know that Tiffany and Hannah are in the same alliance. So, of course, she's going to look at Sarah Beth in a funky way. So, my advice to Sarah Beth, next week you need to win this HOH because they are going to start gunning for you. And you're one of my final 2 picks. So, you got to survive this week. Especially since it's an endurance competition, you got to hold on for dear life. So Whitney and Hannah are on the block. Mr. Christian, here we go, gets his 4th competition win. Was it 4th competition win? Yes, it was. 4 competition wins. He wins the power of veto yet again, 2nd week in a row. It's also the 2nd week in a row that he chooses not to use the veto. But before we get to that, Mr. Derek X. I think you can see his picture decent at this point. You could not see his picture for weeks. But here we go. I got a nice picture. Mr. Derek X got a little too cocky and started talking about something to where Whitney was excluded from the house already. Saying, Hannah, you'll probably be on slot because you'll be here. And Whitney overheard that and said, hey, what if I'm here next week? And Derek was like, shoot me in the... Yeah, Derek screwed up. Started throwing Whitney's name out there. So this gave Whitney ammo to go campaign against Derek, her own teammate. So she pushed for Christian to take her off the block and put Derek X in her spot. Sure enough, didn't do it. And I caught this. I knew it was going to happen, but Whitney should have saw this right at the beginning when the veto was not used. She should have known that at that moment, Derek X and Christian were in an alliance, which they are. They are part of the Royal Flush Alliance. So, obviously, he wasn't going to do that. So, yeah. Sorry, Whitney. So, those are the highlights for the week. Okay, let's talk about jury again, because I know I've said it quite a bit, but we are now approaching jury territory. So, it's important that I talk about this. Jury starts in 2 weeks. So here's how jury is going to work. The last 9 evicted house guests are going to be sent to the jury house until finale night. Now, what are they going to do? the jury will come back on finale night and cast their votes for the winner of Big Brother. But until then, they have to get sent to the jury house, and they are still cut off from the outside world. They're still a part of the game, and they will not be able to. They will not be able to see anything. They won't be able to watch what's going on in the house. The only thing they'll be able to see is when a new house guest arrives every week. They will bring probably a DVD that shows footage of what's been going on in the house. Now they'll only be able to see they'll be only able to see the HOH competition, the nomination ceremony, the veto competition, and the eviction. That's all they'll be able to see. They can't have any opinionated segments, and the competitions and the nominations, that's going to help them decide who they will be voting for at the end. And they'll also have to come up with questions to ask the final two. So jury is a very big part of this game. So that's why I stress this so much. And it's coming up very soon. So in fact, this next HOH competition is going to secure somebody's spot in jury, someone else's spot, because Claire's already there, but it looks like she's still competing for this HOH. But somebody will join her this week. Everybody else is going to be fighting for their life to get to the jury section. So who will it be? We'll have to find out. If you have the live feeds, if you have the Big Brother live feeds, Paramount Plus, you can go. I would go on the computer and go look at the flashbacks and to last night's HOH competition and rewatch. I think it's like an hour long, and watch who wins that competition. So you'll get to watch the whole thing there. So, so that about does it for the Big Brother recap show this week. As I mentioned, endurance competition. You can go see it right now if you have the Paramount Plus app. Go back and watch what happens, or you can wait for the show on Sunday night to see who becomes the HOH. We have another eviction coming up next Thursday, so make sure to check that out. I'm probably going to wait again till Friday to do the live stream. In about 2 weeks or so, I'll be able to do Thursday nights again. It's because I'm out and about on Thursday nights and to where I cannot get the live stream set up. So I'm doing Fridays right now, but I will announce when I'm going back to Thursday nights because I want to get that recap going as soon as the show ends. So, so thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to email me at nickmorales2012@gmail.com. For my Snapchats, I do my eviction predictions on Thursdays, and I will make sure I do one this week. Nick Morales 96 is my Snapchat, so please get a hold of that and watch the eviction predictions unfold. So make sure to watch that. I'll be back with another live stream next Friday, probably a little bit earlier, maybe 5 o'clock or so, and we will recap the whole week and see who will earn their spot in the jury. This is going to be a tough. This is the climatic week. That last house guest that gets evicted before that time, and also too, once you hit the jury section, you have to keep in mind jury management. So once you're sending these house guests home, once they're getting evicted, you have to make sure you end on good terms. This is where the social game comes into play. So you got to be careful of all the backstabbing and everything, because they will take that to the jury house and they could be bitter. We have seen it happen so many times. And I'm curious to see how it's going to play this year, because I think a lot of people are like lovey-dovey in this house. They're like kumbaya. And the kumbaya is about to end really soon, because now that all the good people are starting to get further in the game, it's going to be even harder to nix them, because we know it's got to happen. We have to get down to the final two at some point. So we'll have more on that. I'll remind you about jury again later. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. All right, one more thing. I'll just put that in real quick. Okay, now I'm outie. Take care, guys.